Guys, again, welcome to another video on the channel, and today we have
that gives me a fucking hard on.
Before we get into this video, if you want to see more predictions, more Champions League predictions, Premier League predictions regularly, some Spurs previews if you're a Spurs fan or if you're just interested in previews, and if you want to see FIFA 20 content coming out when it does come out, then subscribe to the channel and smack my bell. As you can see on this side, I have 10 games going down, but I have written predictions for every single game on my phone, and I've got notes on every single team, so I will be looking at my phone a lot. It's currently Friday, so before all of the weekend games, but tomorrow me and Philip and Ashley plan to do Europa League predictions. There'll be 8 on the screen, and we'll do all of them. Gives Ashley his limelight considering he is a Arsenal fan. But let's get into this video. We've got lots of predictions to get through. The first game that was on the website is Inter Milan versus Slavia Prague. Slavia Prague in that group of death. Even their managers and chief executive thought that they was in a group of death based on the reaction they got when they got pulled out of the hat.
Slavia Praha to the Group F.
Group F for Slavia Praha. It's quite a challenging group actually for this Czech team.
Slavia Prague are first in their league. They've got 20 points out of 24 at the moment, and Inter Milan on goal difference are top of the Serie A. Inter Milan have got Lukaku, they've got Alexis Sanchez now. Slavia Prague, I don't really know much about their players, I'll be honest. But for this game, I'm going with a 3-0 Inter Milan win. Next is Lyon versus Zenit. A bit of a tough game. Lyon are currently 5th in Ligue 1. They've got 7 points from 12. They lost 1-0 to Montpellier away, but they did beat Monaco 3-0 away. Monaco with a decent side now. Ben Yedder back here, goes back. Monaco's still there, not the team that won the league, are they? Zenit are second. They have 17 points out of 24. They signed Malcolm from Barcelona, which is a brilliant signing for them. And they beat Spartak Moscow 1-0 away from home. But for this game, I'm going with a 2-1 Lyon win. Now, we have Napoli versus Liverpool. Ancelotti's come out and said that he's not happy with Napoli's changing rooms for some reason. I haven't read into it. Liverpool, who are top of the Premier League, they play Newcastle tomorrow. Should get a win there. Napoli, they're 10th in Serie A, but there's only been 2 games. They've got 3 out of 6 points wise. They lost 4-3 to Juventus away, but they beat Fiorentina 4-3 away. I don't know why they've had 2 away games. This game, I am going with a 2-1 Liverpool win. I think they will have too much quality. Napoli did beat them last year in the group stage, 2-0 I think. But Liverpool, you know, they won the Champions League last year. They beat Tottenham in the final, as everybody knows. And they've got an easy fixture on the weekend against Newcastle, so they'll be rested well. Their key players will be rested, they come off and, yeah, ready for the Champions League. The other game in Liverpool's group is Salzburg versus Genk. Salzburg are first in the Austrian league. They've got 18 points out of 18. They're running bright. I think they've already conceded like 3 goals so far. Genk are 6th. They've got 10 points out of 18. They beat Anderlecht 1-0 away from home. Salzburg, they're a decent team. They've got a couple of good players. You know, they are Red Bull. So they're going to have the money. So they've got Juan He Chang from Hamburg, I think it was. But I am going with a Salzburg 2-1 victory. Now next, in Group F, we have an absolute belter of a game. It's Borussia Dortmund versus Barcelona. I went with instinct on this game. Dortmund, who have signed Thorgan Hazard, Julian Brandt. Obviously they've got Jadon Sancho, who is a brilliant player. Marco Reus, Axel Witsel in the middle. They've got a cracking team really, haven't they? Barcelona, who won't have Messi, I don't think. Suarez might not play either, but they have got Griezmann, Rakitic, Ousmane Dembele. Borussia Dortmund did lose 3-1 to Union Berlin, and Barcelona drew 2-2 to Osasuna, I don't know how you say that name, and lost 1-0 to Bilbao, but they beat Betis 5-2. They don't have the best track record without Messi, and I see that continuing. I'm going with a 3-1 Dortmund win here. I only favour Dortmund because Barcelona don't have Messi or Suarez, I don't think, and because Dortmund are at home and their home ground is bloody brilliant. Next is Benfica versus RB Leipzig. Benfica, who they beat Braga 4-0 in the Portuguese league not last weekend, 2 weeks ago, but they lost 2-0 to Porto, and Leipzig, who are doing brilliant, they've beaten Frankfurt and Mönchengladbach 3-1 respectively. They are top of the league. They play Bayern Munich tomorrow. They've been smashing in goals, left, right and centre. Voice crack.
I made a mistake on that one. Okay. That was a one-off.
And I think they're going to smash some more goals in. I'm going with a 3-1 Leipzig win. Next, in Group H, we have Ajax versus Lille. Lille, who their main talisman's gone, isn't he? You know, Pepe. But they have gained Renato Sanchez from Bayern Munich. And they have Loic Remy up front. Obviously, Premier League fans are familiar with him. Newcastle, QPR, Chelsea. Ajax, though, they've lost De Jong and De Ligt from that amazing run in the Champions League that we put an end to. But they have kept hold of Tadic, Neres, Van der Beek. They've signed Quincy Promes from Sevilla. So they've still got a decent team. And I think they're going to get a good result here and hopefully have another good Champions League campaign. They had to beat Apoel, I think, to get through to the group stages. I'm going with a 3-0 Ajax victory. Now the other game in Group H, Chelsea returning to the Champions League, taking on Valencia. Chelsea, who haven't had the best of starts in the Premier League. If you've watched my Premier League prediction videos, you'd know about that. There'll be an eye out there if you want to watch them. There is one for this week that went out. They've only beaten Norwich. They lost 4-0 to Man United. They play Wolves tomorrow. But Valencia, who have had a bit of a shaky start, they got 4 points in 9. They lost 1-0 to Celta Vigo, I believe, and they've just sacked their manager. But I think in the Champions League, it's one of these games. I think Lampard's going to thrive and get the team going. Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham, I think they could have good games here. And you've got experience in Willian and Pedro maybe if he's back from injury. So I'm going with a 2-1 Chelsea win here. Now on to Wednesday's fixtures. In Group A, we have Club Brugge against Galatasaray. Galatasaray, who have a pretty decent team. They've got Falcao, Ryan Babel, Seri from Fulham, he's on loan. They've got Moore, Emre Moore, I don't know what team he's from, but I know they have him. Steven Nzonzi and Donny from Brighton. They've got Lamina from Southampton, and they've got Feghouli, who used to play for West Ham. Club Brugge are second in the Belgian league. They've got 11 points from 15. They beat Dynamo Kiev 4-3 in aggregate to get to the group stages. But in this game, I think Galatasaray being away from home here be a bit of a struggle, but they put up a fight. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. Now in Group B, the early kickoff on Wednesday is Olympiacos versus Tottenham. I'm not going to speak too much about it. I'll give my score prediction, but if you want an in-depth detail on it, there will be a preview coming out on Monday on the game. Monday at 6 o'clock. So subscribe to the channel and smack my bell for that. But my score prediction for this, I am going to go with a 3-0 Tottenham win. Hopefully we're playing that sexy blue third kit.
Which makes me horny.
Now in Group A, the belter game, it is PSG versus Real Madrid, two titans going at it on the first game week. PSG, they have Mbappe, Neymar's been kept hold of. They are first in Ligue 1, but Real Madrid, you know they have Gareth Bale, who's bailed them out against, haha, see what I've done there? He got 2 goals against Villarreal to give them a 2-2 draw, and he did get sent off, so he's not playing on the weekend, so he's going to be fresh for this Champions League game. They have Eden Hazard, Karim Benzema, Luka Jovic, who's not happy at the club.
I'm not happy in the club.
They drew 1-0 with Valladolid at the Bernabeu, and 2-2 against Villarreal, as I said. Went on instinct, first one that came to my head, I am favouring PSG being at home. Choupo-Moting is going to get the goals. I'm going with a 4-2 Paris Saint-Germain victory. Now the other game in Spurs' group is Bayern Munich versus Red Star Belgrade. Red Star Belgrade, I know fuck all about them, only that they beat Liverpool 2-0 last year. Bayern Munich, they're firing the goals at the moment. They play Leipzig tomorrow. They drew 2-2 with Hertha Berlin in the first week, but they've come back firing. They've beaten Mainz 6-1. They've signed Coutinho on loan. They've got Lewandowski, Kingsley Coman, Perisic they brought in from Inter Milan. So for that reason, I'm going with a 5-0 Bayern Munich win. In Group C, we have Dynamo Zagreb taking on Atalanta. Atalanta's first time in the Champions League. Atalanta have a decent team. They've got Gomez up front. I think they have Ilicic. I'm not too sure. Zagreb, and I fuck all about. Atalanta lost 3-2 to Torino at home 2 weeks ago. And in this game, going with a fair result. I'm going 1-0. Also in Group C, we have Shakhtar Donetsk taking on Man City. Every fucking year it happens. 2 seasons ago, Shakhtar beat them 2-1. And last year it was 3-0 Man City. Man City are currently second in the Premier League. Shakhtar are top of the Ukrainian league. I think they've got maximum points. I am going to go with a 3-1 Manchester City win though. Alexander Shintenko Alexander Shintenko returning home to Ukraine. And now in Group D, we have Bayer Leverkusen taking on Lokomotiv Moscow. Lokomotiv Moscow, who are a tricky side. They are 5th in the Russian league though, 14 points out of 24. They lost to Moscow Derby 1-0. They did lose to Rostov 1-0 at home, and they drew to Krasnodar. Bayer Leverkusen are 4th at the moment, 7 points from 9. They did lose Julian Brandt. For this game, Leverkusen having an advantage in terms of players and everything. I am going to go with a 2-1 win for the German side. And now the last game on this is Atletico Madrid versus Piemonte Calcio. If you're not familiar with them, they are Juventus. Atletico Madrid are a team I've sort of taken a turn into after Trippier left Tottenham to go to Atletico. He's doing quite well there at the moment. They are top of La Liga. They come from behind against Eibar, 2-1 down to win 3-2. They lost Griezmann, but they signed João Felix. They've got a sort of a revamped team with Morato Costa. They've got a pretty decent team at the moment. They got rid of Felipe Luis, who went back to Brazil. So yeah, they're doing okay. Juventus, they beat Parma 1-0 and they beat Napoli 4-3, but they have the star players, you know, Dilly, Ronaldo, Dybala. Emre Can's not in the team, but they've signed Aaron Ramsey and Rabiot and Freeze. So this game it's going to be high scoring. I think they played each other in the knockout stages and Juventus went through. But I am going to go with a Desmond Tutu here, a good old big favourite. If you are new, as I said, subscribe to the channel. There will be an Olympiacos versus Tottenham preview on Monday. So turn on your notifications, comment your predictions if you want to. On Tuesday we will have Europa League predictions coming out with Philip and Ashley. So yeah, subscribe for more predictions, comment your predictions, like the video, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.